Welcome to the second video going through Movie Machine. Here we're going to make the third iteration of the cat and robot video. This is a style and storyline that I've done 2 times before using just general tools. The first time with mostly Runway, the second time with mostly Pika. This time we're going to use all the different AIs that I've built into Movie Machine. First step was writing down the story, which is just like a brain dump. Second step is getting the characters. I realized that there was a bug here where the characters, if I clicked on them before they had loaded, it undid a lot of the actual automated description. So after going back, deleting characters, going back, I get the full descriptions with the characters as they're generated, and then I'm able to change these into a different art style. So in theory, any art style is completely doable with Movie Machine. You just need to be consistent in how you're applying it to all the images. I also wanted the robot to be cute because why not? It makes it nice to have a cute robot. And there I am making everything anime. The anime comes out pretty well on those individual images. And then I generate the plot. The plot I didn't actually end up using, really, in this one. I just did a single scene and kept adding to it because I knew more or less what I wanted. I didn't need the AI to assist in any of the generations of those kinds of things. I just needed to get the backgrounds and make them anime. You can see a couple bugs that pop up throughout the video. I'm working on those. That one was when you modify the image, it doesn't update that preview. It only updates the card. You can also see that I have updated a lot of the UI. So this character screen is redone and all the tabs are redone. So it's now much easier to kind of understand what's going on. Previously, I didn't have selected states or tabs showing up as the tabs as they are here. Once I start generating the images, the anime is working great, I gotta say. It's keeping a really good consistency with that selected style, even when I'm not telling it explicitly to make the style anime, just because the references fed in are the anime style, it holds that pretty well. Some of the clips, as always, don't have very good descriptions. Just the way the AI prompts have described it, it's not coming together. And I'm still working on those prompts, but the human in the loop is the key. So if something didn't come out, go through, look at it, edit it, and then it'll come out much better. Some of these clips conflict with the descriptions of the characters previously. So Whiskers currently has green eyes, but all these descriptions are talking about Whiskers' orange eyes. So I go back and actually edit the reference to have orange eyes so that any images going forward are generated with those orange eyes. In some of the image descriptions and video descriptions, the anime doesn't come out. And so I just go back and add in anime style or anime style to those image and video descriptions. There are small inconsistencies in the robot as expected with these AI generations. I could go through, modify all of those. Like here, the robot has 2 antennae, whereas in most shots and in the reference, the robot only has the 1. I chose not to do that in this case, just because I am testing out the system more than anything else, and I am making sure that I can get it to work in the ways I need it to. I also realized that the way that the reference was with the space for New Eden was causing a parsing error. So it's no spaces on that. I'll probably put in a system that replaces the spaces with underscores when submitting those references. Yeah, here I'm getting that initial establishing shot that I can then overlay the title card on. I'm still generating the title cards in Ideogram and then putting those into iMovie after getting the video export from here. I am getting the full videos from Movie Machine at this point. The video player in Unity is hitching a little bit at some points because it's not preloading the clips like I want it to. But I am going to get that to just flow really smoothly. Not too far off now, I don't think. So as we're going through and generating these clips, the story of the cat and robot is that a robot is in a long abandoned city, and everything's overgrown, everything's broken, and it's just wandering around because it doesn't have any masters anymore. They're all gone. They're all post-apocalyptic. It's just humans are no more. I don't get into the details there, but what I do get into is that the robot is looking for a purpose. And that's actually with the lyrics in the song this time. I made it so it's like the robot is looking for a purpose. And it finds this cat. And the cat likes it. It likes the cat. And they become buddies. It learns how to, or knew how to take care of the pets from its old masters. And so it's like, I can take care of a cat. It eventually goes to a store and finds some food for the cat, and with that food it's able to get the cat to like it more, and then it even finds an old apartment that was attached to that store and tries to have the cat live a semi-normal life with it. Normal as in the pet style normal, not as a feral cat normal. And then after they do their adventures together, a storm comes up on them when they're outside, and the cat runs and hides. The robot just doesn't understand the cat running off, why it would do that, because the robot's not bothered by the rain. So it is sad and tries to find the cat, but the cat's hiding because it's raining and thundering. The robot gets sad and upset. In this instance, it tosses a dumpster, which was a scene that was a little over the top, but I liked it, so I kept it in. The robot then goes back to the apartment and curls up on the couch in a very sad way, and the cat eventually comes back out once the morning dawns and it's sunny out again. And then they're happy together, happily ever after. For the music, I'm still using Suno. I'm trying to get a good API service for the music, but both Suno and Audio don't really have that. I'm hoping that some other audio service gets a music option, but currently I don't have a good source for the music there. I am next week going to be putting in the audio section. So you see the audio tab up there at the top level, but it doesn't currently do anything. I have integrated 11 Labs on the text-to-speech, on the speech-to-speech, or I guess they call it voice-to-voice, and I also have it integrated with sound effects. So I'll be doing that at both the clip level and the scene level. And at the clip level, the audio will just be attached to the clip, so we're not going to have too much going on down beneath the clip images here. And then at that clip level, you'll be able to add in as many different audio pieces as you want, and I will then try to collapse that down when trying to play the audio together, so that it's when the clip starts, that's attached to the video player and it plays that one audio piece. We'll have to see if I can get that working, but otherwise I'll just have it play all the clips, and just with the way it works, if you're playing more than 12 at once, it might cause issues. But that's only if you're playing 12 different audio pieces at the same time. I did have some issues with the scene generations. You can see that I allowed for multiple objects for the scenes. So you can have multiple different sets, or you can also have objects. So later on, I'll generate a tuna can I get some bugs with the generation there, but you can generate a tuna can and have that tuna can remain consistent. I'm still limited to 3 total references, so it's hard to have the background, the robot, the cat, and the tuna can in the same scene. And so I had to make some sacrifices on consistency for the tuna can in certain shots because, I mean, I'm not going to sacrifice the robot or the cat for consistency. And I can sometimes get away with sacrificing the background, but it's a bit more obvious than having the tuna can be different. Having the cat be under the bus was also one of the things it would not do. And just the model wanted to have that cat really front and center, so having it hiding away wasn't an option. I'm also looking at having a kind of copy-paste functionality so that you can have the same image across multiple shots that you can then do different videos, or more importantly, so you can have an image that you then do an edit on to have the next clip. So to get really good consistency, one of the best options is to get the scene, get the characters in the scene, and then give an edit to change the camera angle so you can have a over-the-shoulder shot with a very consistent background, and the spacing of the 2 characters stays very consistent, and the poses on the characters stays consistent. So that's one of the next things that I'll be adding in. So it's like copy paste and audio. Of course, bug fixing and prompt updates will be coming as well. And then the last thing for the beta build that will allow me to send this out is that final full video export functionality. Right now, the play button at the top of the side panel will take you to a place that will play through all of the video, but it won't export it as a single video clip. It'll just use the definitions of all the different clips and play through each clip at one at a time, but using like the start and end cropping and clipping that you've defined. So with that will be beta ready to send out. If you are interested in participating in that beta, please reach out. I'm very interested in having anybody that has a good story to tell, is kind of how I would put it. If you have a good story that you want to tell using this program, I would love to have you work on that. For this build, I will be just including all of my keys, and it won't be paid at all. It'll just be, I'll give you this to use, and you will give me feedback. Currently, I'm still working with a cost structure that is approximately $10 per minute of final generation as my costs. That is mostly on the video generation side. I would say about 60% is video generation, and then the remaining bit is audio and text generation for the structuring, or audio, text, and image. So those are approximately equal. They're not really equal, but approximately. And the bulk is still video generation costs. If Google Video opens up their image to video version 3, I'll include that as an option, but you will need to put in your own keys for that one, because that is $6 for 8 seconds of video, so that comes out to like $1.25 per second. Right? No, 75 cents per second of video. At 75 cents per second of video, we're comparing that to what I'm using is Kling 2.1, which is 25 cents for 5 seconds of video. And so that's 5 seconds per second of video, or 5 cents per second of video. So 75 cents versus 5 cents on the video generation cost there. I guess you can throw in that like audio generation cost on top. So maybe let's like say 7 seconds for the audio as well. So that is what, 15 times the cost, like 10 to 15 times the cost for the Google Veo 3. It is a major time saver with the just inherent audio baked in, but it is a definitely big increase in cost. If I can get that kind of interaction with a lot more customability or customizability with where you're placing the audio and how you're getting it to do things, and just replacing the audio, then once you get the audio for like the speech good, you can lip sync and get all of it exactly like in the styles and movements that you want. Here I had to go in and edit some of the references because some of the references were getting stuck, and I think I wasn't clearing those old references properly in the new generations, and so I had to delete the clips with the bad like references. I also accidentally updated Axiom to be a tuna can. If you missed that, it was funny, but I had to go in and like directly edit the JSON in order to fix that. One of the first things post beta that I'll be working on is getting the history integrated. And so with a history, anytime you do a generation, you can always revert, or you can change states or things like that. So for this tuna can, I wanted to update it after doing these first generations to then be an open tuna can, so that it would like be open with a consistent look. After this kind of shot where he opens up the can and then gives it to the cat. So I went back to the references and updated the reference to be an open tuna can. It took a little bit because the food that I put in was very much not canned food, but it was something that got there eventually. With history, it would have been easier to go back and get the right art on the can to keep it more consistent, but it worked out just fine in the end. So getting the movement on a lot of these characters is challenging. And so one of the things that I've been working on there is just saying like turn around at the start of the video description, or like having the character in the frame in the right spot, and then giving the direction and throwing away the first second of video where the character like turns into the right pose. And that works pretty well. After the beta, I'll also be integrating a couple tools around extension. So you'll be able to extend the clips, as well as maybe give a bit more direction. So ideally, I would be able to do that, like edit the clip option with just text. So you can say what you want changed, and it should change that. Also, ideally with reference. And so I'll get those edit options to include references, and I'll get the clip edit options to include references, so that all of that becomes a lot easier to control. Here it's just keeps going. I generate more scenes and get those scenes as backgrounds. So we have the shop that we're going through now, and then we'll get into the flat. I had a lot of fun with this one. This one turned out great, I thought, this clip. It's just magic swirling in the background because it's super happy time. And so I use that in two places. One is at this like kitty eating food, the tuna moment. And then the last is when they reunite and the robot and cat are together and happy. Character sizing is another one of the big issues that you'll notice. The cat and the robot will kind of like shift up and down in their relative sizing. This is something that's just semi-inherent to the reference-based image generation, because it doesn't have an understanding of the size of the reference. And so the robot could be much bigger, much smaller, and it wouldn't really know that versus the cat. For the cat in the scenes, it should be a lot better about the cat sizing versus the real world, because that is something that should be knowable within the model. But the robot sizing is just not really a knowable thing for the model. Getting a good like abandoned apartment took a little bit longer than I was expecting, and of course I'm in London, and so I called it the flat, the abandoned flat. I also noticed that the modify, when not specifying every time anime, a modify will tend to lean towards making it more realistic. So even if you start with the anime image and then you say like make it look abandoned, it makes it look more realistic, unless you continue to specify the art direction. Most of the videos didn't need to have anime style explicitly stated, but some of them did start leaning more into the 3D animation direction. Some started leaning more realistic, especially with water. For some reason, water effects really made the models start leaning realistic. Um, the UIs are coming together pretty nicely, in my opinion, especially with the tabs and the selections and making it very clear of what's going on. Um, Default states I'm working on. And so if you have any feedback there, I would love any feedback you can give. That I'm not entirely happy with how I'm listing out the references, but it's working well at this point, so I'm not going to change it too much, but I would love thoughts on how to better list those references. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with where it is, and I'll let you watch through the rest of this, how it's made. Uh, and at the end will be the final video attached here. So I welcome you to skip ahead to the last 4 minutes and watch the music video, or in the description, there should be a music video link that take you directly there. Thank you very much.
wandered roads with no direction, every step a hollow sound. Shadows whispered, no reflection, empty echoes all around. I craved a spark, a reason, a sign, a flicker of fire, something to be mine.